Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel. Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan said today that an apology will be issued if the investigation into last month's shooting in Al-Hiran finds that Bedouin man Yaqub Abu al-Kiyan did not attempt to carry out a terror attack. The incident occurred on January 18th when a police force arrived on scene to secure illegal home demolitions in the village. During the operation, a car approached the police force, arousing the officers' suspicion. They opened fire, injuring the driver, who then sped up in his vehicle and ran over and killed 34-year-old Sergeant Erez Levi, who was on the task force. 47-year-old Al-Kiyan later died of his wounds. Erdan's comments followed reports yesterday that Justice Ministry investigators concluded that the incident in Al-Hiran was not a terror attack as authorities initially reported it was. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has indicated that he remains in favor of pardoning IDF soldier Elor Azaria, who was given an 18-month prison sentence on Tuesday for the fatal shooting of a disarmed and wounded Palestinian terrorist in Hebron last March. Speaking to reporters in Australia, where he's on an official state visit, Netanyahu said that the problem was not with the sentence, but with the circumstances that led to the incident. Netanyahu said that it is important to consider the challenging circumstances young soldiers face, especially during a wave of terrorism, and the difficult decisions that they must make. According to a poll published in Ma'ariv, a large majority of Israelis are in favor of granting a pardon to Azaria. Deputy Foreign Minister Tzipi Otoveli formally asked President Reuven Rivlin to pardon Azaria, writing that his crime took place at a volatile location during a wave of terrorism. Vice President Mike Pence made a stop yesterday at the Jewish cemetery in Missouri, where close to 200 gravestones were toppled over the weekend in the latest act of anti-Semitic violence. Speaking through a bullhorn from the bed of a pickup truck at an event organized to clean up the damage, Pence said, quote, "From the heart, there's no place in America for hatred or acts of prejudice or violence or anti-Semitism. I must tell you, the people of Missouri are inspiring the nation by your love and care for this place, for the Jewish community in Missouri, and I want to thank you for that inspiration, for showing the world what America is really about." End quote. Pence's appearance in University City, Missouri, came a day after President Trump denounced the vandalism and spoke out more broadly against anti-Semitic violence. Trump had faced mounting criticism for not speaking out on the matter. The fight against Hamas's indoctrination of Palestinian youth is a never-ending struggle, which is no better exemplified than in the shutting down of an East Jerusalem school earlier today. Israeli authorities claim the school building was being run as a front for the Hamas terror organization. Supposedly established by Hamas to teach content that undermines the sovereignty of Israel, the elementary school in question in the Sur Baher neighborhood of East Jerusalem has been under investigation for months in a probe jointly conducted by the Education Ministry, Jerusalem Police, and the Israeli Shin Bet. Education Minister Naftali Bennett said, quote, "Schools in East Jerusalem that elect to follow the Israeli curriculum get the full set of tools to succeed, while those choosing incitement will be closed, and each case of incitement will be dealt with and will continue to be dealt with maximum severity." End quote. An Israeli jet fighter shot down a Hamas drone earlier today as the drone was seen flying from the Gaza Strip towards the Mediterranean Sea. Though the UAV was never seen flying into Israeli territory, the IDF released a statement saying, quote, "The IDF will not allow any violation of Israel's airspace and will operate with determination against any attempt to do so." End quote. The drone was reportedly operated by Hamas and was under surveillance immediately after takeoff. This is far from the first incident regarding Hamas's use of unmanned aerial vehicles, too. Hamas deployed drones during the 2014 war in Gaza and many times since. In May and in February of 2016, drones, drone pieces and accessories, rifle scopes, radio receivers, cell phone signal boosters, and video transmitters were all caught being smuggled into the Strip. According to the Defense Ministry, all of the drones captured or destroyed over the last few years have been equipped with high-quality cameras and were used to spy on Israel. IDF policy dictates that any Hamas UAV be shot down the moment the vehicle leaves Gazan airspace, no matter if it's inland towards Israel or outwards towards the sea. If you've ever wondered what it was really like in the Holy Land 2,000 years ago, now's your chance to take a virtual reality tour and find out. As much as you may enjoy an archaeological book or documentary, nothing can beat being able to see ancient Israel for yourself. And now, all modern-day visitors to Jerusalem's Old City have to do to step back into time to see where both biblical temples once stood is slip on a headset and get ready. The Western Wall Heritage Foundation offers a 360-degree virtual experience based on comprehensive historic, archaeological, and religious research, as well as the very latest in Israeli cutting-edge technology.
It's one of the only tourist sites existing with this technology. Okay, the technology of the 3D goggles, as you all know. The visitor takes the glasses, put them on, go back 2,000 years to the temple period, understand why was the temple, what happened at the temple, who came to the temple, what did they do at the temple. He really feels like he's experiencing 2,000 years ago. And then he comes back to the Kotel of today and can understand the connection between the Western Wall, the Kotel of today, and the temple 2,000 years ago.
More than 10 million people visit the Western Wall each year, and the 10-minute virtual tour has been overbooked every day since it was launched last year.
It's a great adventure. You feel as if you stand in the temple. You go back in time. You really see the people. Finally, I think our students, and me myself, I understood exactly how the temple looked like, how people stood in the temple, how the Levim sang there. You can see, you can feel, you can even smell everything. It's great.
The compound is the most sacred site in Judaism and revered by Jews who call it the Temple Mount.
Mexico, are they mending fences? Big question. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and DHS Secretary John Kelly met with their Mexican counterparts earlier today. Manila Chan was following the story and brings us the details. Manila?
That's right, Ed. Two of the president's top men were in Mexico City this afternoon. They appeared to break from the lines being drawn out of the West Wing on immigration and even on business ties. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, who has been largely low profile since taking the helm at state, today spoke about strengthening America-Mexico relations and vowed to work in concert with the southern neighbors in all areas, especially in terms of security, cracking down on border security, illegal immigration, drug trafficking, and arms. Secretary Kelly appeared to underscore that the Department of Homeland Security would, above all else, operate under the rules of law.
Let me be very, very clear. There will be no, repeat, no mass deportations. Everything we do in DHS will be done legally and according to human rights and the legal justice system of the United States. All deportations will be according to our legal justice system, which is extensive and includes multiple appeals. The focus of deportations will be on the criminal element that have made it into the United States. All of this will be done, as it always is, in close coordination with the government of Mexico.
Meanwhile, President Trump himself at the White House during a meeting with manufacturing CEOs talked about, quote, getting really bad dudes out of this country at a rate nobody's ever seen before.
How many are thankful to the high heavens Barack Hussein Obama is gone? Yeah! How many think the media in this country is so fundamentally dishonest and corrupt? Yeah! Are you ready to help stop America's precipitous decline? Are you excited about the opportunity to fix this country? Are you? All right, I want to hear loud applause, no applause. How happy are you with President Trump's first 30 days? Pretty amazing. What is this? This is a historic opportunity for us to get this country together. You know, I spent an entire year last year. This is how corrupt the media is. You know, you go back to 2007, 2008. Remember I was doing something called vetting Barack Obama? Do you all remember that? All right, if you weren't watching, you have to leave, okay? All right, so I'm vetting Obama. So here's a guy that is an Alinsky disciple, learns from a communist Frank Marshall Davis. What is an acorn organizer? How does that qualify you to be a dog catcher? I don't get it. And then, of course, he goes to the Church of GD America. The media was a year later than when I broke the story, Reverend Wright did one interview during that election cycle. It was with me, and he never showed up back on television again. I'm very proud of that. And imagine if Donald J. Trump, our president, if he started his political career in the home of an unrepentant terrorist, part of a group that bombed the Pentagon, the Capitol, New York City Police Headquarters, and on 9/11/2001 of all days was quoted as saying, "I wish we had done more in terms of terrorist activities." How many times, can anyone answer, I want to see how smart this crowd is, how many times did our corrupt alt-left propaganda media ever ask Barack Obama the question about his association with Bill Ayers? Zero. Wrong. Sorry. Not zero. One time. And you know what? Want to know why? Because Georgie Stephanopoulos, Clinton sycophant, I couldn't resist. He was on my radio show the day before he was hosting a debate. I fed him the question. He didn't even know who Bill Ayers was at the time. If it was Donald Trump, Bill Ayers, Bernardine Dohrn, how many times do you think the American corrupt, liberal, leftist, lazy, overpaid media outlets would have asked the question? Right? You know, by the way, this is Hollywood, one of our guys, and right over there, George W. Bush calls him the bear. They're good guys. We've worked together 20 years. They're my friends. You know, we have an opportunity, but we have forces that are working very hard against us. You've got the Snowflake Brigade, okay? The paid protesters. Those people that, you know, have nothing better to do. They don't work like the rest of us, so they go to protest to protest. Then you've got the Democratic establishment. Day one, they're talking about impeachment because they're crybabies and whiners and they lost and they can't admit it. Then we've got the media with all their corruption. They basically declared war on President Trump, and they want to do everything they can do to hurt his opportunity to help this country. And then we got Republicans that have shown that they're weak and feckless and spineless. And it's time for them to get off their ass and do their job. That's what it's time for them to do.